technical difficulties to kick off our Sunday morning. I'm Bree Harris. Joining me in commentary as always, Tamara Matthews, and the whistle's been signalled for our players to take the court. We'll do a quick rundown just before this first whistle goes of our lineups for today. Rovers, the away team, with the first centre pass, and it is Bryony Simpson in centre, getting us underway in this round 10 split round clash.
Yes, and coach Gracie Reid in the wing attack position, supported by Sammy Croxham in goal attack and sister Beck Croxham in goal shooter. So we know what they can do. They've got some great combinations, those two girls. That's sister to sister work rate, as you see Magpies move the ball into their attacking third, and that was sort of a nice little dance there by Georgia Clark.
It's nice to see her stepping up after a bit of illness last week and netting that first goal there for the Magpies. In defence, for the Wangaratta Magpies, we've got Hannah Grady in goal defence, Katie Dean in goalkeeper, Izzy Byrne through the centre, and Ella Cooper in defence. Attacking the ball for the Magpies, Leah Gentry in wing attack, Georgia Clark out in goal attack. It's so nice to see Amanda Umansky once again taking the court for the Magpies, and we look to see her probably increase how much court time she has. Defensively for the Rovers, in goalkeeper Sky Fulton, in goal defence youngster Molly Murray, and in wing defence Ella Masters. So fairly new look team for the Rovers this season, and unfortunately they've only had that one really instrumental win against North Albury, so I think they'll be looking to really contest against the Magpies today, as the Magpies just net another quick goal there.
Absolutely.
First quarter.
Yeah, for sure, Reen. It's so good to see them get that win, and particularly when you've got young players. They're a very young side, and you know, no one wants to go through a season undefeated, and it just gives those players some excitement and momentum going into the next lot of games in the back half of this season, and they'll be looking, you know, to try and score another win against, you know, probably a couple of the teams down the bottom of the ladder there, as Magpies trying to meet Amanda Umansky under the ring. She misses, and Murray is under that and goes out to Fulton, who offloads a great outlet ball to Sammy Croxham.
Gracie Reid, nice and quick to get it underway, and quick change of pace there from Sammy Croxham, but Katie Dean getting the upper hand on the baseline. They've opted to go to the top of the circle, cross to centre in Bryony Simpson. She finds Sammy Croxham all on her own on the baseline, and a great goal there from the Rovers. So the score reading 3-2 here in favour of the home team. Izzy Newton, great to see her back out on court as well. She's had a little bit of dental work, which took her out of the team for the Ovens and Murray for the association champ. So it's nice to see her back on with Amanda Umansky, getting a great rebound and another quick goal for the Magpies.
Absolutely, and off the bench over there for Wangaratta, Kelly Keane and Amy Byrne sitting on the pine for them.
And Olivia Holmes, so that must be the defensive rotation. Brooke Price unavailable on holidays, sunning it up, so she'll maybe be tuning in from where they are. And Bryony Simpson in centre, clever work there to try and knock that ball, and Georgia,
the long arms of Georgia Clark,
just getting the upper hand there over the youngster in Molly Murray. They're equally matched for height down there. I did say while the Rovers girls were warming up how much height their defensive end did have. They're missing Kelsey Wilson today, which is a noticeable absence probably for them.
Umansky with a great intercept there off the baseline throw-in. Turns the ball over for Magpies and makes no mistake. So Wangaratta put another on the board, and it's their centre, and Genevieve is attacking quickly off that line, goes to the pocket to Izzy Newton, and Georgia Clark with a lovely sweeping front drive there to take the ball, but chooses to go to Amanda Umansky under the post, and those two are going to be tough to shut down just with that height and the agility that both of them can provide, Ree.
That's exactly right. This first quarter, thanks to Cavalier Holmes and Magpies hustling the loose ball, but Rovers still in control. Masters using the outlet ball and the refeed to Simpson. Spatial defence there from the Magpies, clogging up the space, and a bullet pinpoint pass from coach Gracie Reid to Sammy Croxham, netting another goal for the Rovers. The score reading 6-3 here on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
And Wang just being forced to work it around. Penalty gives them a set shot under the post. So Georgia Clark will step in and take that. And good to see her back too. She was a withdrawal from the Ovens and Murray representative side last week too, following an illness. So good to see that she's on the mend. And Grady, classic Grady intercept there.
Cross court is always dangerous at the hands of Hannah Grady. Always willing. Newton finding that base drive of Umansky, and the penalty's called first. So Newton will have a second dig at it. And Georgia Clark presents front, and it just rims off the front there, and Umansky doesn't pull it in firmly enough, and the Rovers girls got a chance to have a dig, but a contact call goes against Murray. Clark just taps it through, so 7-3 here on the 777's automotive scoreboard.
And I think it must have been a breaking call off the line there from Wangaratta. Oh no, it's something...
Offside.
A contact call, I think, on Leah Genvy. So Rovers with the opportunity to turn it back here through Simpson, finds Reed. She's got some great pace and dynamic movement too. Sammy Krotstrom is out of the circle, looks into Sister Beck, but it's not on. And it's not going to be from out there against these guys either. So Reed with the ball at the top, and they just work it in under the post to Beck Krotstrom. And she picks up a beautiful goal. Yes.
That never looked like missing, and it was nothing but that net. Bryony Simpson to Reed. The little bounce pass. Obstruction call takes the ball back to the transverse line. Beck Krotstrom coming out. Splits the defenders, and clever work by Sammy Krotstrom in that circle. A great goal there from the Rovers. They respond 7-5 here on the 777
She just did
automotive
enough of the look away pass, didn't she, before looking in under the post. Caught them off guard, eyes down as Rovers look to go forward. So Sammy Krotstrom finds Simpson on the drive. They look to go to Reed, but there's fingers to it, and Magpies are able to turn it over. So Genvy, she has to reset back through Grady. Rovers doing a good job of just trying to hold them up here.
Stopping that run. Ball is in the hand of Umansky. Shorter shot there, but it just bounces on the right angle in. It is a Rovers.
And I think from speaking to Amanda last week, she is back to full games, but she does train.
Katie Dean with the tip on the baseline. Sorry, Tam.
Yeah, she does train tonight, so she wasn't sure. Oh, as Katie Dean takes a
foot underneath, and she just takes a second to take a deep breath.
It was a nice roll. She saved herself well. She could have really crashed big time then. She did well to come out of that uninjured and without too much blood. Well, without any blood at this stage. As Amanda Umansky has the ball again under the post and makes no mistake that time. So, yeah, I think she has training tonight back in Melbourne, so Amanda was unsure how much time she'll be allowed to have on the court today, And that's a tough gig, isn't it? Playing today and then getting the car and travel back to Melbourne to train for a couple of hours on a Sunday night. Could you think of anything more fun?
Oh, great rebound. Oh.
And the umpires
thought the umpire then was saying that it had been played, but no, bringing it back hadn't been played in the right spot. So Rovers with the opportunity again, and Ellie Cooper, ever the competitor.
And she was impressive last week, Ree, for the Ovens and Murray side. She was
very
one of the standouts
consistent
for the day, wasn't she? Just outstanding.
About 8 minutes have been played here on the McRae Motors time clock, and the sisters in Rebecca and Sammy Krotstrom just really finding the connection on that baseline and not trying to rush, but yes, we have a blood ruling. So Katie Dean will come to the bench, and we see Olivia Holmes, the youngster, coming in at goalkeeper for the Magpies. Just giving a high five from her teammates. Genvy in wing attack. Gets the centre pass from Newton, and it's a quick one too, but Sky Fulton just gets a finger
right through the hands
to it, and well done on her from pulling up the scraps as well. As you can see, it's just so congested, and again, the contest there from Cooper, well within the rules. Krotstrom gives back to Murray. She's been really helpful on that transition play.
Umansky comped one in the nose then, so I think she's...
It's been happening a lot on this court. And another body's out. And Krotstrom and Newton give each other a little bit of a cuddle, and Masters is up. Georgia Clark.
She'll get another shot here.
And a goal there for the Magpies. They are out to 10 goals, leading the Rovers 7 here. Simpson to Krotstrom. 1-2. and to Reed in the pocket.
Nice timing
Deep on the
there.
base and putting it out into space she is, behind Rebecca Croucham, who lines up, and it's just a little bit wayward. Sammy Croucham doing her best then to get that rebound in front. But it will be the Magpies, the throw-in. Olivia Holmes with her first touch of the game, and Cooper is on her own for that transition drive, and you can't do that with the speed of Cooper. That connection, Genvy, baseline of Clark, and a clever ball there looking to do the cross court to Newton, but instead giving to Umansky directly under the post. They're out to 11, leading 7 here on the 777 Automotive scoreboard. About close to 10 minutes in this first quarter has been played. Genvy asked to take it back. Clark, a nice goal from her, mid-range shot, and it will be the Rovers with the centre pass to come first quarter action, thanks to Cavalier Holmes. Gracie Reed, wing attack, bullet part again. And a great cross circle pass there. Oh, hands of Ellie Cooper in the way, and again, the Rovers with the throw-in. Lovely to see the Rovers' patience moving this circle. And Sammy Croucham lines up in a lovely shot from her.
And they are going to have to continue to do that. We know how strong these Wang defenders are when they get set in that circle together. As we see Wang going to attack Genvy with the ball, hits circle edge, finds Clark, looks to go to Amanda Umansky, and it's out the back.
Oh, and Murray will be so disappointed because that was probably going straight out of court and just a fingertip on it. A contest there and offside.
Oh, no.
Incorrect throw-in, perhaps. Or the ball was taken off court. Great pass there from Fulton. Reed. Cooper out of play. I would love to see Reed fully turn her body around to see down the court.
Yes.
She's kind of, particularly when she's out wide, looking really sideways. But just if she turned that half a centimetre more. Great contest there from Holmes. And a foot is in the way. A bit of soccer going on between the Magpies girls. So Rebecca Croucham will line up just inside the circle. And a quick 1-2 with coach Gracie Reed. She'll have the shot again with an obstruction call. And makes good. So 12 goals to 9 here is the score at the Norm Minns Oval. Oh, Georgia Clark nearly came through.
She went hunting, didn't she, as Sammy Croucham.
Oh, great release. Well done from Olivia Holmes there, just to get around the hold of Beck Croucham. Short shot from her, but a great rebound, a great grab from Sammy Croucham. That's what two-handed grab can just put you in that good position. So the lead is to 12 goals to 10 here on the 777 Automotive scoreboard. Just a couple of unforced errors from the Magpies, keeping the Rovers in touch. Fulton gives to Murray, to Simpson, and great to see her turn that whole way around and look down.
Yeah, and I saw that. Just a contact call there.
Off.
On
the girls are
they're calling it back.
Everyone's a little bit confused as to who was out of play there. Genvy doesn't want to be left on her own because she can do some damage, but great elevation there from Bryce Simpson. Probably the oldest player on court for the Rovers. We talk about young teams, and this Rovers team is one of them. Well done to the Rovers. A great turnover at the hands of Molly Murray, and Ella Masters connects with Reed, gives off to Croucham, to Simpson. Great footwork there. Oh, and the hands of Izzy Newton just in the right place. Not quite enough on the bounce pass. Ellie Cooper, centering ball. And Simpson again, just the touch on the ball, just not enough on it again. And Newton hustling through as well, but an obstruction call.
There's a bit of tennis going on in the last couple of moments here as both teams desperate.
Murray
as
to
this
Simpson.
Quarter closes out. So Simpson finds Croucham in the front spot. Beautiful little bounce pass. Finds Sister Sammy.
And they're back within one at 12 plays, down. 11 here on the 777
And a Rovers centre, Reed. So late charge here. Gracie Reed finds Beck coming out of the circle. She opts to go back to the line, but Masters wasn't in the front position.
Having a great hustle there with Genvy, and it's a Rovers throw-in. About 2/3 of the way towards this attacking end. Great work from Reed there to hold that front position. Oh, I don't think anyone
She was
knew
there
really
and then
where
she
that
wasn't
was
and
to.
then she
Bryce
was.
Simpson again at the top. Newton's out of play. Beck Krelcham stepping up. And it reefs off, but again, Sammy Krelcham with the two-handed, and we have an even ball game here. 12 goals apiece on the 777 Automotive scoreboard. Not long to go in this first quarter, maybe 30 seconds, thanks to McRae Motors. Newton works it with Georgia Clark, finding the top. And the hooter goes.
No goal.
For quarter time and no goals, so 12 goals apiece here at quarter time. This is O&M Live Netball, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol?
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can upgrade heavy machinery!
I can actually drive!
Onwards, beer drinkers!
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between. Manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
We'll make change.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball from the Normans Oval. Wangaratta Magpies hosting the Wangaratta Rovers, and not a goal can be drawn at this point. 12 goals apiece here in a great first quarter. It looked like it was a little bit of tennis there for a couple of minutes, but credit to the Rovers girls. They've made it really hard for the Magpies to score. A couple of changes have been made for the Magpies. Newton's in at wing attack with Cooper in centre and Genvy in wing defence, and Newton already getting a hand on it For the Rovers, though, no changes have been made. Oh, and sorry, Katie Dean's come on into goalkeeper after that little bit of a blood ruling. So great fake there from Reed to get us underway. And Sammy Krelcham and Beck Krelcham teaming up together really well. Bryce Simpson, just not enough on it. They saw it, but great work from the defender in Dean.
And Rovers, no change to the Rovers side. So
youngster in Murray, hands over pressure is great, doesn't get pulled for the obstruction, and
just a bit too much on
turnover.
it.
Great work.
Murray read that at the back and able to get a tip to it. And
Fulton will get a second go at this pass here with Umansky standing out of play, an obstruction call. Murray, well done. Just putting the confidence in the ball, and Sammy Krelcham coming up to help. Masters giving off to Krelcham, looking down, and again, right on the wing, and
she
that
put a
connection,
big ball in.
And just a little bit too much.
Sammy did well to keep that in play. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to a teammate. So Wang with the spoils. Georgia Clark on the transverse line goes to Cooper. She finds Izzy Byrne on the circle edge. Umpires found a penalty. So they'll swing it to Cooper, and she finds Umansky presenting front under the post. So Wang on the board first this quarter. And it's a Wang centre. So they're able to get a turnover there and just an early break. Newton has to go back to Genvy, and Clark's out of the circle.
Cooper coming out as well. The reset being utilised, and probably the attacking combination.
And Murray, so close.
Another little hand. And an interesting stat about Molly Murray. The family, there's 5 Murrays playing today. Yes. All of them are playing against
the Magpies.
Against the Magpies, because brother Nick playing for the Crows, and then the rest of them lining up here for the Rovers. So how great.
Yeah.
And great for the youngster to be getting so much court time, a rising star of the competition.
Absolutely, and the only girl with 4 brothers, I'm quite sure she's not going to shy away from
a contest.
From a contest, that's for sure.
As Sammy Krelcham lines up for the Rovers' first goal of this third quarter, takes us to 14 plays, 13 here. Newton steps around the hands of Masters and drops it into Umansky, and she makes no doubt here. Simpson for the Rovers. Reed, that's better looking down than to look sideways. Krelcham gives off to Simpson. And again, the hands of Ellie Cooper. Great defence there over the ball and not jumping too early. Newton and Clark, quick textbook play there using that side channel, and then centering to Umansky straight under the post. Defender in Sky Fulton really didn't have enough time there to get her feet around the ball.
Great timing there by Newton onto the circle edge, and Umansky just popping forward for the easy feed. So just starting to connect a little bit smoother this quarter, Magpies in their attacking end.
Krelcham supporting through the defender in Murray, bringing this ball down. Simpson, and
well
that
read
kind
by
of
Grady.
box defence that the Magpies were putting on there, they just make it so hard to see where the space is, and the Rovers girls just really need to remember to come to a body and come off it to break that. Umansky, though, making the most of that, and they're out to 18 goals to 13 here on the McRae Motors scoreboard.
And just a bit too much on that. Yeah, so Umansky kept it in but not able to get it to a player, and Rovers well read, so they're moving it down court. Masters
you can see that space defence again.
Just taking and forcing the big ones over, and no one there to take it that time, but Simpson with the ball finds Sammy, finds Beck under the circle.
And a great finish there by the sisters in Beck and Sammy Krelcham, and the Rovers with the centre pass to come. Sammy gives off to Gracie Reed. Obstruction call, and Sammy Krelcham finding the baseline and the goal. So back to 18 plays, 15 here on the McRae Motors scoreboard. Newton releasing for the centre pass. Clark, the high ball into Umansky. Well done from Fulton to not be out of play there, just contesting the ball.
And Umansky just getting in that front position, and Fulton really needing to get off the body in those situations. She's not going to be able to
throwing
contest
that
from
centre
behind.
pass away. Just a little bit too much on that, and the Magpies underway again. Grady helping through that transition play. Cooper opting for the reset, finding top of the circle.
And that's better by Fulton, just working into that front position, not getting stuck behind her. As Umansky gets the ball under the post and makes no mistake that time.
20 goals to the Magpies. Clark to Cooper, back to Clark. Newton fading off the circle there, and Murray getting a tip to it.
And great vision and release to Clark out the back. She saw it was a 2-on-1. Misses, but Amanda Umansky's under that, and she'll make no mistake.
21-15 the score here at the Normans Oval. The Magpies leading the Rovers after an even first quarter. Gracie Reid in wing attack, taking this penalty pass and just puts too much on it. Katie Dean in goalkeeper, stepping up to that sideline. Great outlet pass to Genvy. Newton to Clark, Grady. Cooper just starting to find those triangles and connections a little bit more, the Magpies, and remembering to possibly for Leah Genvy, wing attack's not her probably dominant position. She's more of that real wing defence, defensive centre. So learning some new tricks in wing attack. And so the Magpies connecting to the goal again there.
And I like this setup. I like Izzy Byrne in wing attack. I think she does some great stuff. That short, sharp work that she's so good at allows them to get to circle edge, and her work rate's really high. So she's ideal for that position. And obviously we know what Ellie Cooper can do in centre. And
Genvy in wing defence just on that edge of the circle.
Yeah.
She's got springs in her feet, that girl.
They're lucky they have the opportunity to be able to move those girls between
Try
those
a few
positions
different things, and depending who their opposition is. And I think Genvy and Reid really match up well as well.
They do.
So
Both
Simpson,
very aerial, aren't they?
Yep.
As Becky Crolcham under the post, makes no mistake for Rovers.
Takes them to 16, trailing the Magpies 23. Newton and Clark connecting and finding Umansky. Front position, but another miss. But the goal nonetheless, they're out to 24.
And Reid, great last weekend at Association Champs to see Amanda Umansky pop in and see the girls. She obviously wasn't playing and obviously just coming back from her knee injury, but really nice to see her come along and support the girls and say hi. So
was fantastic. So Hanrahan popped in as well, someone else that was unavailable. So it was so nice to see, and I think for the girls it was really nice. Abby Jones, that's umpiring today down the far end. She also came and cheered on the league and her Yarrawonga comrades. So Sammy Crolcham here passes, bullet pass to Beck. And just turning and shooting the Crolcham sisters in that circle. Brings the Rovers to 17, trailing the Magpies 24. Cooper and Newton, that speed. And decoy. Great defence from the young defenders in Fulton and Murray. Fantastic defence there to really earn that ball. And let's see if the Rovers can capitalise and reward that defensive effort. Again, you can see this press by the Magpies. And the ball, the long ball having to come in.
That long one, and there it is, Genvy all over that one.
Yep.
So having the desired effect, that's for sure. And Rovers will need to sit off at half-time and really talk about how they'll break that. Minna Lamb over there on the sideline supporting Gracie Reid with the coaching, and I'm quite sure she'll be chatting to them about what they need to do in that situation as Umansky puts another one in for Magpies.
Just so important because we're seeing this year there are a few playing coaches in the competition, but it's so hard to have all eyes on everything while you're trying to concentrate on playing. So great that Gracie's got an offsider there. Likewise, Hannah Grady having Lou Byrne.
Yes.
So we see Genvy, the contest, just half a second late. Great strength from Sammy Crolcham through that mid-court. Reid to Crolcham, back to Reid. Cross circle, always dangerous. Rebecca and Sammy working so well in there together, and just short. Great defence there from Grady.
The wind's picking up here a little bit, Ree. It's a bit
fresh. But yeah, so important that those coaches have an offsider on their sideline just to pick up those things that they may not be able to see from where they are, just to take a little bit of the pressure off as well.
For sure. And, you know, as you said, allow them to come off at quarter time and half time and catch your own breath before they have to sit and address the players as Rovers. Great turnover there, and they look to go forward. Great outlet ball to Sammy Crolcham. She finds Reid in the pocket. Not able. Wasn't able to control it. Found Sammy Crolcham, but she would put on a juggling act.
She should have gone for the layup at the end of that. Cooper gives off to Newton. Magpies
It would have
again.
been an impressive finish if they had finished it there.
And another wayward pass. Tam Matthews getting her first stud of the game.
Leather poisoning over here.
A little bit of a one hand. As Fulton looking for the option. Cross to Bryce Simpson. Pulls it in. Murray looking down. Great work from Bryce Simpson calling for that ball when she was ready. The cross circle ball again into the pocket of Reed. And both sisters there. Great teamwork. Oh, deserved a goal, and Rebecca Krelcham doing her best for the rebound, but Hannah Grady managing to get the two hands on it. Cooper to Newton to Clark.
And you
looking down.
Just feel that defensive pressure's just dropped off as Wang moved that ball out of defence then. Genevieve on the line, finds Clark, and Newton has it on the circle now.
And Murray holding call there. One arm was out. Trying her best to stop the run of Georgia Clark, who steps in and nails a beautiful shot there. So they're out 2:26, leading the Rovers 17. About 11 and a half minutes played here in a breaking call.
Break on Izzy Newton. So Rovers have an opportunity here to turn one back if they can score. So
Masters
Simpson
setting up. Bryce Simpson connecting with Sammy Krelcham.
Some
That
long
space,
balls going
there
across
is some
court
long
here.
balls, which is exactly what the Magpies want. And again,
clever tap.
Clever play, sister to sister there. Another goal from the Rovers. Their centre pass to come. Reed and Genevieve contesting every ball. Simpson, great screen there, keeping Genevieve on the body. And again, it's deep in the pocket. Sammy Krelcham fading, using that arc of the circle to her advantage. And Rebecca Krelcham, a great quick goal from the Rovers. They are up to 19, trailing the Magpies 26 here.
Yeah.
Sorry, my maths is a little bit wayward.
So we've had a 7-14 quarter this quarter so far. It's been all Wang as Georgia Clark puts another one on the board for them. So Simpson with the ball goes back to Masters, and the hands of Newton really disrupting the pass there, but they were able to find Beck Krotzheim over the back, and beautiful long-range goal.
Coach killer those passes if they don't go off, but she's the coach herself and it came off. So
that's right.
Great play there from the Rovers, and with nothing to lose here in this game either. Worth bulleting a couple of those in, and Newton and Masters really doing her best on the body there, just not quite getting her feet around far enough. Murray on the jump, too short. Fulton has a go, but Umansky, another goal for the Magpies. 28 plays, 20 here. 8 goals the lead to the Magpies. Not long left in this second quarter. Sammy Krelcham to Reed, deep in the pocket. Hannah Grady coming
Great pulling
through.
by Sammy though. She was able to stay there. And the pass from Beck to Sammy is well read there by Hannah Grady. And but
replay.
a little replay there on Wang, and so Rovers another opportunity, but just not able to get any control here. So I'm not sure where the ball is. It's top of the circle, offside call. Beck has it. She does find Sammy on the baseline. She has to refeed just to get herself into a position where she can sink a beautiful goal. And she moves them out to 9 goals for the quarter.
21.
21 for the game.
Oh, great contest from Masters. Cooper, though, ever reliable, that two-handed take. Clark, great goal. They're out to 29. Rovers, their last 5 minutes of this quarter has been really great. Unfortunately, those first couple of minutes, the Magpies really hustled and lucky to gain possession there are the Rovers. But the Magpies, the first 5 minutes of this quarter were really dominant and have brought that lead out. But credit to the Rovers, they've changed a few things on court and gotten their ball down there in the last few goals. But Cooper for the Magpies gives off to Newton. Brought back for an obstruction from Simpson to Newton, top of the circle, and into Clark. But goal is too late. That brings us up to half time. The Magpies leading 29, the Rovers 21 here. This is O&M Live Netball, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can upgrade heavy machinery! I can actually drive! Onward, beer drinkers!
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between, manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball, coming to you today from the Normans Oval. I'm Marie Harris. Joining me in commentary, as always, is Tamara Matthews. Half-time here in the Wangaratta Derby. The Magpies leading the Rovers 30 goals to 21. And as we're speaking about late in that second quarter, probably the first 5 minutes of that second quarter let the Rovers down. The Magpies putting on that really heavy press, and it just took them a little bit while to work through. But credit to them, they stuck in and they ended up getting a reasonable score for the quarter.
They did, and I think the other thing Wang did was they found some really strong connections off their own centres, and they scored some very quick goals off their own centres, and that can be really demoralising when, you know, you're working really hard in defence, you're not getting anywhere, and then you're having to work so hard just to score off your own. So they were able to get some goals back late. We've seen some changes here from Wang, so Georgia Clark coming off and Kelly Keane going into that goal attack position with Amy Byrne coming into wing attack, I think. So I nearly drew over the call.
Nearly had a casualty on the
It's all happening. Yeah.
on the commentary team.
Thank God we don't do Sunday games very often, Ree. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And no changes to the Rovers, which I'm really impressed with Coach Gracie Reid to back her players in. They are working well, and we were talking off air at half-time that the average age down in that defensive third for the Rovers is probably
18.
all of 18.
Yes.
So credit to these youngsters really standing up, and Bryce Simpson leading the charge in centre. Gives off to Reid.
And probably harder when
high
you...
ball, Grady coming through, and it's just a contested possession of Rovers getting the first goal of this third quarter thanks to McRae Motors.
And probably harder when you're in the same town. I think when they're playing against some of the Albury-based teams, for example, they don't know the players. That's a little bit, you're a bit more removed. But when you're in the same town, I guess there's that, you know, that crosstown rivalry too. When they've done a great job today, these youngsters to stand up against, you know, a very strong Wang outfit. As we see Wang look to go forward here, Genevieve with the ball.
And socially, I know that a few of the girls on court are friends too, so that's always one of those tough things as well. But Keane and Byrne, the new players on court, teaming up there, and the high ball going into Umansky, who it's very nearly an air ball, but just enough of the ring on it. But 2 misses in a row. The contact against Murray on that rebound, and Umansky gets it third time lucky. So they're out to 31, playing 22 here.
And Reid, the other thing too, I mean, we can see the Wang Rovers bench there. We've got Minaland there supporting Gracie Reid. It was great to see the president, Wally Pasquale, warming the girls up. He's headed off now. I'd say he's ducked over to the footy there now. But, you know, he was there for the first quarter or so with the netballers on the sideline. And fantastic to see that, you know, that the club is a real family club, and there's that real interconnectedness between football and netball. And I think it's fantastic when you've got young players. You really need that.
Absolutely, as Beck Croucham
goal.
nails a beautiful goal, and the sideline like it as well. They're up to 23, trailing the Magpies 32. Byrne to Keane. Look away pass into Umansky. She flicks it in, and Masters. Great work there from the youngster, contested. There's a little bit of a fumble ball.
Lots of hands over, getting deflections here as Amanda finishes with it, but not able to score. So I think we've got a contact call
against Fulton. And the goal from Kelly Keane takes the Magpies up to 33. And I was going to say on that point, Tam, I noticed that great win that the Rovers had over North Albury, that Wally Pasquale was in some of those photos, and he was equally, you could see, equally as joyous as Coach Gracie Reid and all the players were. So great to see that real connection between the netball and the football side of things, which is so important in the competition.
I don't know how many football netball club presidents are warming up their A-grade girls, but great to see.
Great contest there from Sammy Croucham.
And Wally's daughter Bella, obviously, is a very, very gifted and talented runner. Bella, who won the store gift earlier this year. So
phenomenal
He
effort.
probably brings a fair bit of knowledge and experience and understanding of warming up, etc. So
Magpies go end to end from that defensive turnover, takes them out to 34, leading the Rovers 23. Kelly Keane, a fading pass, and too much on it. What I'm forcing the miss pass. It's just here on this defensive throw-in, they're really
Cooper with a great contest,
struggling,
deflects the ball, and Keane able to pick that up. So Umansky with it for Wang under the post, and again another miss. She'll be disappointed in her stats today, I'd imagine. Thankfully, she's tall enough to rebound them and get another opportunity.
Pops it back in. Simpson in centre, gives off to Reid. Quick pass to Beck Croucham.
And off balance, Gracie, but she manages to find Sammy.
Just the timing off just a half a second there with that attacking play then puts the players out of position. But Beck Croucham and Reid teaming up again. Genevieve thinking she might have got a touch on it, but it's a contact from Grady first. Beck Croucham stepping in, and Grady on the rebound. It's brought back. The Rovers players out of play. Dean to Grady. Damaging. Great contest there from Bryce Simpson to really stay in play. Masters doing a great job on Amy Byrne, making her really have to hustle for this attacking ball. She connects with Umansky. Great hold from Amanda. Right under the post, and this time a little bit too much on it. Great rebound from Molly Murray. Contested possession again
Cooper
from Cooper
again.
and the contact. Fulton long ball to Masters, and just a little bit too much on it. The defensive pressure from the Magpies all over, forcing the turnover. Keane, high ball into Umansky. And goal to the Magpies. They are out to 36 here, plays 23. Just over 5 minutes gone in this third quarter, thanks to McRae Motors.
Cooper, she looks in. She was going to throw it, but she thought better of it and waited.
Oh,
They've worked it. And
great hand there
tips.
from Molly Murray.
They're working overtime, these girls, and really backing themselves in the contest, which is fantastic to see. As Keane, so smart with the look-away pass, finds Umansky under the post. That's experience right there for you as Rovers take the centre pass through Simpson. She finds Sammy off the line, very wide though, and they have to re-centre it to Reed. They're wide again on that line. This is Wang's defence. They're just forcing them from side to side. As
Grady. Just can't quite get her hands on the possession, and clever there. Obstruction call. Couple of balks. Belt Cretcham at the top of the circle. I just wanted to turn and shoot, because when she has, she's been so damaging.
And they've been in the contest and the rebounds too, so, you know, they've given themselves a chance. And
clever there. Dean stepped up and the space opened up, and there is the goal for the Rovers. They're back to 24, trailing the Magpies 37. Umansky there found a lot of space, but the contact call first.
So good job there by Fulton to... and
great take from
good
Reed.
balance by Reed, and had someone backing her up, which is always nice. Masters looks to play on, but an obstruction call there on Burns, so she'll get another opportunity. Murray finds Simpson looking for someone, and they're forced to go back. So this is where they've just had a little bit of trouble here. The defensive pressure of Wang's holding them up, and Beck and Sammy finding hard to get some front space, but eventually Beck does. She'll turn and shoot, and this is why she should.
Yeah. It's just beautiful, both Sammy and Beck Croucham. And I know defenders find them hard to play against because of their accuracy. They can be so damaging in that respect, and they're both really strong-bodied players, both particularly on that rebound. We've seen the athleticism of Sammy Croucham. A better split of the defenders there, trying to take the space, and Molly Murray nearly with the rebound, but flicks off instead. Time's been held. The retrieval of the ball as Kelly Keane steps up the ball, gets play underway. Masters, a nice little touch on the edge of the circle there. The balk, just a little bit too much on it, and again, the Rovers finding it really hard to get this ball out of this defensive third. A great transition,
pass.
Great outlet pass. Reed to Simpson.
Good
Beck
fake.
Croucham.
So Dean out of play here. So we've got a 2-on-1. They work it in and into Beck. She can't find Sister Sammy, does eventually, and a smart little bounce pass finds Beck again under the post.
A couple of quick goals there from the Rovers.
Yeah.
26 trailing the Magpies 37. So they've got it back to 11. Hands first, I think, there for Masters. The smarts of Keane getting that position, and nice swish shot from Kelly Keane in goal attack takes them out to 38. Rovers centre pass to Reed. Genvy. It's a throw in to the Rovers. Long ball. Beck Croucham coming out. Simpson supporting. Bounce pass again. Well
great
done.
Draw. Sammy out the back. Good vision by Gracie Reed to
a goal
find her
and a goal. It was to the Rovers. Back to 10.
Oh, Kelly Keane, that is very, very clever. Those hands, unbelievable with the quick little tap to Umansky. And Wang score another quick one in response. So Rovers, centre pass, Sammy goes over to Gracie. She balances up, waits for someone to come forward. There isn't. Sammy was out the back,
Yeah,
but probably
just half a second
too
late. Yep.
They're
And
working
they're
it
finding
round.
again, and you can see Dean and Grady have split that circle really well.
Just playing that space, aren't
Force
they?
the ball out to the top of the circle, and Genvi picks up the scrap. So Byrne with the high ball into Umansky. That height mismatch perfectly timed, but a little bit too much on the shot. So Rovers will line up again. Murray, contact call off the circle. Good work by Masters there, using her body. Both Magpies will be out of play here. Oh, the contest from Cooper again.
Contact call on her. So good strength by Simpson just to pull those in and draw the contact there with Reed. Has the ball. She goes into the pocket to Beck this time. And they have to refeed. Sammy's on top of her. She can't give it to her.
A short pass. Cooper to Genvi, and the Magpies transition again, waving them each other to come forward, and Cooper all the space to the top of the edge of the circle there. Umansky pops another one in for the Magpies, taking them to 40, leading the Rovers 27 over about 11 minutes played here. And in that first half, I think the defensive pressure of Magpies as a unit were probably the Cavalier Homes best.
Yes.
I think that defensive press, particularly in that second quarter, really drew the margin out for them. And I think the sisters in Sammy and Beck Krelcham for the Rovers have done a really, really great job. And I've been really impressed by Molly Murray down there, just getting a hand and tip to a few balls for the Rovers.
Yeah, she is. She's doing an outstanding job and has had to adapt now, going from Georgia Clark. She's on Kelly Keane, so a different style of player. And Katie Dean comes flying, but couldn't get there.
Half a second, well done for Reed. I think she probably took a breath as well. And Cooper, Byrne having to do the double dodge to come forward. Masters with the hands over. Keane, look away.
Good take by Umansky. Strong hands under there. That's tough for Murray. She's giving away a little bit of height to Amanda, and when the ball's delivered with that accuracy, that's pretty hard to stop as Rovers look to go forward again. Sammy has to go over the circle to Reed, and I think she might have been offside there.
And the short option was probably on in that instance. Yes, it was still probably in the same place that it was. But Grady to Cooper. Byrne. And because this is a split round, Tam, we've seen the 3 other games already being played. Last weekend, we had that thrilling draw between North Albury and Wodonga Bulldogs, which was so good to see. North Albury battling with a few personnel out, but the people that they brought in from B grade did an exceptional job.
They did, yes.
And then the Bulldogs just rallied really hard. The changes that I thought Bianca Mann made, there wasn't too many, but I think they were really critical. And I thought Cassie Matthews stood up in that attack end as well. Ruby Martin, she's been on the court a little bit in A grade this year, but it was probably the best game that we've seen her play. And then the Albury Tigers had a very, very comprehensive loss to the Pigeons. From all reports, Yarrawonga put on a very clinical display, considering Sarah Moore was unavailable due to illness.
Yeah.
And Albury Chappelle nailed 40-something goals for the Pigeons.
Yeah, they did. And I think Albury, obviously Sky Hilliard's finished playing for the season, expecting her second child, but also without Gabe McRae, and really missed that drive and that experience through the centre as well. And you're really going to feel that against a side like Yarrawonga.
Absolutely, and Maddie Allen was back in for the Pigeons as well, which is a big in for them, and the Magpies transition this turnover. They're out to 44 on the Cavalier Homes scoreboard.
And then yesterday, the game, went and watched Lavington get over the top of Myrtleford in what was a really, really interesting game. So a 49-45 goal win by Lavy. They really jumped out of the blocks early and got a big 10-goal lead on Myrtleford, at quarter time. And that really sort of set them up for the game. the rest of the game was next two quarters were fairly even, but I would say Myrtleford had more of the ball. Sophie Hanrahan was outstanding on Christina Gucci, gave them so much ball, but unfortunately Myrtleford's accuracy in goals was not great. I think they shot at 50% for most of the game, and Taylor Ferber and Sarah Meredith were phenomenal, and we know what they're like. They're so damaging under the post if you don't sink it, and they were able just to rebound so strongly and give Lavington every opportunity, and they made the most of their opportunities. So they were able to get out to a good lead. Last quarter, we saw the magic of Sophie Hanrahan swing from defence to goals. She was almost their top goal scorer, 14 from 17 in the last quarter, in what was a 19-goal last quarter for Myrtleford. A couple more minutes, and I think they possibly could have run over the top, but they certainly came home strong, but the damage was done early, and I think Myrtleford would be incredibly disappointed because they did have probably more of the ball and had a lot more opportunity, but just didn't take their chances.
A wrap up of the last few games for round 10, but that is three-quarter time here. The Wangaratta Magpies leading the Rovers 47-28. We will be back for the last quarter. This is O&M Live Netball, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can up.
Support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between, manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Fourth quarter action about to get underway here at the Norm Minns Oval. The Wangaratta Derby sees the Magpies with the lead 47 over the Rovers 28 going into this fourth and final quarter. Georgia Clark back on in goal attack for the Magpies. Izzy Byrne retakes the court in centre. And Kelly Keane drops back into goal shooter. So nice for the Magpies to be able to make those changes and it to be fairly seamlessly. Genvy trying to connect with Byrne. A hand for the Rovers. Gets in, and Keane under the post.
And for the Rovers, we can see Murray and Fulton have swapped positions there. So Murray's gone back to keeper.
Fulton out to goal defence. Keane, the look away pass to Clark.
She does it well, doesn't she?
On the baseline. And we've got to remember too that combination between Clark and Umansky is still forming because of the injury to Amanda Umansky at the start of last season. They actually didn't play a lot of netball together in the end, whereas Keane and Clark is the combination that went through last year with Amy Byrne swinging in as their rotation. So Magpies, Grady and Dean. Great.
She's on the run chasing that ball.
Running that down. Byrne presenting front.
Nice drive by Byrne. Fine circle edge. A little bit big to Keane,
well done from
but
Fulton.
she's able to keep it in, and Fulton mopped up. So Rovers, Genvy coming through a little bit late.
She acknowledges that was
She
just
does.
a little bit too late. The hands over from Newton. Forces Reed to go sidewards and
Tip
Genvy
by
with the
Genvy.
tip.
Yeah, and then look, they're able to pick it up there, Magpies, after Genvy got the tip. So
Newton and Beck Krelcham having a little giggle there. I think Beck might have given Newton a little bit of a cuddle at the top of the circle.
And they're good friends too, Izzy and the Krelshams. So
Byrne, sorry. Contact from Murray off the ball. Clark stepping up. And a goal for the Magpies takes them to 50.
So we've seen another really strong start to the quarter here by Magpies. A couple of quick goals. Rovers scoreless so far in this quarter. Keane finds Newton on circle edge. And they find Clark under the post directly in front. So it's a nice feed there to find her.
Simpson in centre. Has been really consistent for the Rovers today, and a footwork call. Genvy gives off to Newton.
And another footwork
call. A little bit slippery in that one little corridor of the court. Masters to Simpson to Reed. Beck Krelcham, there were hands everywhere. Reed. Both Rovers players wanting to go backwards there, and Dean and Grady just using the space and that combination in the circle. One of the most consistent defensive pairings in the competition.
Absolutely.
They just back each other.
Yeah, certainly held in the highest regard by I think almost every team in the comp. There's no doubt about that. Ree as Clark popped
great
another
goal.
one in. Yeah, beautiful goal. And I think, Ree, we must touch on last weekend. A huge congratulations to you and your assistant in Sarah Moore and the rest of the team for the outstanding job that they did in Association Champs. Runner-up by a measly goal. But it was a huge day, wasn't it? And just a phenomenal performance by all the girls.
Big day. I can't take too much credit. The attitude and the athleticism that we saw on court. Hannah Grady did a lot of that last weekend, and ever the competitors. And honestly, after those first two games, it looked like we were going to have a very long day. We reassessed and made a couple of changes in how we approached the games, and credit to everyone that was part of our 10 on the day. They adapted really well and adapted to any changes, and they kept us in the competition. And from then on, we just had that one draw to Western, who were a really physical team. It was a very physical contest, but went the draw and then ended up the team with the best attacking percentage, and by quite a margin, which was fantastic to see, which is a credit again to our attackers and the defensive pressure, but just the amount of ball that we had. And players like Stewart, I think she only had the equivalent to a game or a game and a half off for the whole day out in goal attack, dropped back into shooter for one half, and that was it. And Laura Davis and Sage Bros both swung in there at different times just to allow that to happen, which was great. And Ellie Cooper in centre was outstanding. All 10 players competitively at different times. I think over the course of the day, Sarah Moore and I were kind of asterixing best players for each game, and I think every one of the 10 had a half or a full game in the best, which is outstanding, and
I think
credit to them.
In that format, you have to have that to be successful, don't you? Because the games, you know, for anyone who hasn't witnessed it or watched that kind of netball, 2 8-minute halves, and it's just ferocious. The pace and the intensity is unlike Saturday netball, and you absolutely have to have everyone contributing right from the word go. You cannot have passengers, and I think it's those teams that are most successful on the day.
Absolutely, and I was just about to say, great attacking play from the Rovers there, but Dean came out hunting and got the scraps, and the Magpies have brought us underway again.
Burn just a bit flat-footed, and Newton calling it onto the ball to the reposition, and Keane finds Clark the
just
look away.
Clever, the look away, and they are up to 56. The Rovers so far scoreless in this fourth quarter. Yeah, and the other thing about last weekend, that semi-final went into extra time against Hampton, and this time we got the win, which was great.
Yes.
And that was probably one of the more intense moments that I've been in, and then just to go down to Banyule in that final by the 1 goal. We were probably leading for the majority of the game, and a quick turnover, as you said, and had there been another couple of seconds, we hopefully would have got the goal to go back into extra time. But no, big credit, and a big credit to all 13 players that have been part of the interleague season this year, all great competitors, and just great camaraderie between them, and a big thanks to the Ovens and Murray, and a big congratulations to the under-17s team as well.
Just going to say,
Jodie House led them to semi-final, and they came up against a very, very strong Hampton 17s that they'd had a very heavily contested game in the last round, and so they met them again in the semi-final and went down by 2 goals.
Yes, I think
still
maybe
pretty
3
close.
in the end. Yeah, but it was close, and they've had a fantastic season. They played the Carnivals, had some great success there. Interleague, obviously, they had a super win against Goulburn Valley, and then qualified at Association Champs. Qualifying tournament to go to Melbourne, a big day in Melbourne, like the Open team, 10 games. A couple of girls not 100%, so they were carrying that. But honestly, absolute battlers, every single one of them, and just, you know, an absolute pleasure to take away. They're just such a credit to their clubs and their families and themselves, the girls that play in that 17 side, as are the Open. But yeah, just so great to see us have the success that we did.
You can see some of the products of the Ovens and Murray 17s competition out here on court. The defensive trio here in Murray, Masters and Fulton for the Rovers have all come out of the under-17s, which is fantastic, as the Magpies just keep going on their winning way. They are out to 60 with their centre pass to come. Burn.
Rovers still scoreless in this quarter, so we're looking to get one on
Clark
the board here.
passes to Keane, and Murray on her haunches. I think it's a calf. She's calling time. That looked really, really awkward.
She's in a lot of
trying
pain.
to call
She's
time.
in tears, and the umpire will allow this goal to be shot because the player isn't interfering with it, and then yeah, but it's on the umpire. Yeah. So it's on the umpire's whistle, so the umpire will allow play to go on as long as the player isn't interfering, and now she will call an injury time.
She's still trying to call time here. There is a little bit.
She hasn't heard.
Oh, and I hope youngster Murray's okay. She is very, very ginger. A calf or an Achilles.
Yeah, she's in a lot of pain. She's in tears. And the umpire just apologising there for a bit of a
miscommunication.
Yeah,
so
she could just hear people yelling time. I think she thought it was coming from the sideline.
Simpson swings into wing defence. Masters will drop back into goalkeeper, and Fulton will stay out in goal defence. So hopefully for youngster Molly Murray, that's nothing too serious. She's been doing a great job out here. Unfortunately, the score at the moment probably not reflective of the effort that the Rovers have put in on court all day. So we've got Katie Dean gives off to Genvi. So we just try and confirm the player that has come onto court.
McCarthy has come into centre.
Holly McCarthy.
Yeah.
Beautiful for the Rovers, and Kelly Keane puts the Magpies ahead again. Newton gets us underway. Clark to Newton. Magpies. Oh. Contest there.
Isn't it?
No, number 5. Just get confirmation. 10 minutes played here at the Norm Minns Oval. Reed gives off to Sammy Krelcham. And Krelcham to Krelcham. Oh, and the goal needed. They've been kept scoreless so far in this 4th quarter. Byrne to Genvy. Newton to Clark.
And Sophie Larkin, apologies, the player that's come into centre there for the Rovers.
Apologies to Sophie and to Holly.
Yeah, that's right.
As Clark steps it in. Fulton remains out of play. Masters, sorry. Comprehensive lead here to the Magpies and the Rovers. Reed. Oh, and Grady. Great take on that.
And good backup there by Dean.
Great
Just
idea.
watching, and big outlet to Georgia Clark. She has to go back to Newton.
Oh.
A little bit of fancy footwork there, and they're not able to keep it in play. So
They're having a
Rovers
giggle about it too.
with the ball back here. So Rovers going forward. Sammy Krotzheim has to go back on the line to Simpson, and Gracie Reed stuck. She has to go back as well.
Oh,
Before
the hands of Katie
Dean.
Dean,
Yep.
that defensive duo. Genvy. Great contest. Byrne to Keane. Oh, the bounce pass there. And Masters for the Rovers getting the scraps. Really nice to see the Rovers capitalise here, get on the scoreboard, but it's
Clark.
not to be standing still a little bit.
And that's probably an area of their game where they've really come unstuck today. Being caught very flat-footed and waiting for the ball to come to them instead of moving on to it. And that's the defensive pressure of a team like Wangaratta, taking that space and not allowing them anywhere to drive into, and then the court standing there waiting, and Magpies able to come through with the intercepts as they take the centre pass. Clark off the line.
Absolutely,
Byrne.
big learning curve for the Rovers, but how great to think that a lot of the players on court are all of 18,
Contact call there, I think.
17,
on Masters.
18, and if they can keep
Yes,
this group together,
absolutely.
how damaging they could be, particularly that first quarter, was really fantastic, and I think Coach Gracie Reed will be really proud of that
Yeah.
effort as Georgia Clark continues the Magpies on that really positive way. They're out to 64 here. 65, sorry. Leading 28 on the...
So Genvy finds Byrne, finds Sister Newton. They go to the pocket to Clark, just working it round. Oh, and Clark cops an accidental
knock there this 4th quarters, thanks to Martin's group, Aubrey, and the X-Ray group. As always, Clark holding strong there. And a goal.
And a goal. She finishes off where she wasn't happy with that,
Yeah,
with that contact. But, you know, that's part of the game. So Newton off the line to Sister Byrne, and Keen's out of the circle. They're just working it around here. Rovers unable to find space to get a turnover here as Keane will take mid-range shot and makes no mistake.
67, the lead to the Magpies. Rovers been left scoreless in this 4th quarter thanks to Martin's travel group, Aubrey, Simpson. Tam Matthews in these last few moments of this game. Best players on court.
Oh, look, I mean, Hannah Grady and Katie Dean have been outstanding, I think, for Wangaratta. The defensive work that they've done, as we see, whether it was setting up the box or whether it was back in the goal circle, has made it really difficult for the Rovers girls. Leah Genvy's had a great contest, but I think Izzy Newton's probably the other one that's had a great game. Started centre. I thought when she went into wing attack, she had a big impact in the way they moved the ball. that combination with Ellie Cooper in centre worked really well for them. So I think she's had another great game. For the Rovers, been really impressed with their defenders. I think they've really battled hard. And then the Kirlstrom sisters, you know, they're up against two of the best defenders in the league, but they're still able to pull off some beautiful passes and connections, which is great to see.
And time is called here. The Magpies with the win against the Rovers, a very, very comprehensive win from them today, 68, keeping the Rovers, the Magpies 68, keeping the Rovers scoreless. A big thank you, as always, to our game day sponsors, McRae Motors, Cavalier Homes, 777 Automotive, Martin's Travel Group, Albury, and the X-Ray Group. Our live stream wouldn't be possible without these partnerships, as Tamara Matthews gets our player of the day, who today, Hannah Grady, always the competitor. Always fantastic as she just checks her cadence for the day. Hannah Grady, our player of the day. It was a great win, but credit to the Rovers girls. They really put it to you in that first quarter. As coach and Lou Byrne on the sideline, what were your instructions come quarter time?
Obviously, we knew that they were going to come in hard, and they always do come out hard. After that first quarter, we really wanted to focus on calming down, slowing the pace of the ball. We often do play at pace, but when it gets erratic, that's when we need to, step back and start to dictate, how quick that ball's moving and have someone stop and reset.
And I think we were speaking about definitely in defence, that box defence that you guys put on the press forced a lot of those high, long balls, which is what you want, and then you're able to capitalise on that. Obviously also able to make heaps of changes on court.
Yeah, so the box defence, obviously Sammy and Beck in that goal circle are so quick that you play one-on-one and it's so hard to get those little balls. So, yeah, we really wanted to focus on Katie and I playing in that back space so that we could pick off those high ones. And then, the versatility and having the changes is amazing. It's, really great.
It must be challenging in a way. I mean, Sammy and Beck, but down the other end, because they're so young and so new, you don't know what to expect when you're coming up against teams with these young new players in it.
Yeah, and those young girls, credit to them, they worked so hard, and in the next couple of years, they're going to be brilliant defenders if they stay together and things like that. They're going to be an amazing group of players.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And just how did the body pull up after last weekend?
Horrendous. I didn't go to work on Monday. I couldn't walk on Tuesday still. Yeah, it was hard.
Not the spring chicken you once were.
Oh, hell no. I was feeling for a week.
Didn't notice that today. Our Ovens and Murray player of the day today, our O&M Live player of the day, Hannah Grady. Thanks so much.
Well done, Han.
Well done, Han. So big win in the Wangaratta Derby, goes in the way of the Magpies. But as we said, there's plenty of great things coming out of the Rovers camp, and that first quarter in particular, but they were kept scoreless in that last quarter, which was the Magpies' experience, I think, coming out, and we hope that injury to youngster Molly Murray isn't too bad. So that brings us to the end of round 10.
That's right, it does, and it's going to be an interesting second half. Well, remaining 8 games to go. I think our top spot's probably set, but look, the next 4 could end up in any sort of fashion. It remains to be seen. There's going to be some great contests, I think, Reed, coming up.
Excellent. So Tamara Matthews, this has been round 10. Next week sees us head to Myrtleford. They take on the Albury Tigers, and I think for Myrtleford it'll be a must-win game if they really want to keep in that top 5 and in touch of that top 3. This has been O&M Live Netball. I'm Ree Harris. Thanks, Tamara Matthews. Thank you, Trav. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can upgrade heavy machinery! I can actually drive! Onward, beer drinkers!
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between, manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.